Views there. So make us start with some big news this week across the government of Salone. Number one, very important, EDSA, we are the primary agency we responsible for the distribution of power and electricity in the country. Don't write to the Electricity and Water Regulatory Commission. It's an important news for us, for the government increase tariff from 11 cents to 23 cents. Big breaking news. So the law say, let's go to listen. The law say, now EDSA they make this request to the regulator. When we make this request to the regulator, we have to go through a process where they include, follow announcement, EDSA already gazette this, and the regulator don't gazette this. We have to get public hearings, media engagements, and conversations on this. You know what I mean? Say that this are the new regulator. EDSA don't ask the regulator, say, because of inflation, the dollar, prices of commodity, including fuel, the letter is very detailed. I don't get chance to read the entire letter. But they make a case say right now, them as an agency and the government, they lost significant resources because we pay particularly less than all man at the sub-region. In fact, the average at the sub-region they about between 20 to 25 cents. We now only pay 11, and we not adjust it from its inflation. So I don't say they don't change you. I say EDSA don't right. We don't start the process. Explain this, and we will take the entire civic engagement and public education process to update the public on the steps they need to take. EDSA request no means say that we will go through. We go through the process and then we arrive at the conclusion. Another very important news we need to clarify. Plenty journalists, local and international, announced following a tweet where they come out from the Twitter handle of His Excellency the President that Salone will open an embassy at Jerusalem. Indeed, now we issue the tweet. We want to clarify the tweet for the people of Salone and for other requests. Salone don't enjoy a long-standing relationship with the State of Israel, which dates back to 1960, even before getting independence. Salone will continue for build on that relationship there, and not just for build on the relationship, but for begin for benefit significantly economically and otherwise as part of this exchange. As part of that process there, His Excellency the President don't ask that we look into for make sure say we open embassy yanda, then say open embassy naya. The venue for that embassy day, you know mean say it get for being at Jerusalem. So I want to clarify that day one thing. But people that don't that talk in English because it's international news. His Excellency the President has indeed directed that Sierra Leone will open an embassy in the State of Israel. This is consistent with our long-standing partnership and relationship with the State of Israel that dates back to the 1960s. We intend to enhance that relationship, to cultivate mutual economic and other benefits, and this is why His Excellency is moving, taking steps for Sierra Leone to open an embassy in Israel and for Israel to do the same in Sierra Leone. The venue of that particular embassy, means it doesn't mean that it's going to be in Israel, in Jerusalem. Sierra Leone continues to support the United Nations position that seeks a two-state solution in the conflict between Israel and Palestine. So the position of Sierra Leone is consistent with the position of the United Nations and the African Union. That has not changed. So there has been some reporting that we take responsibility for, because the tweet misrepresented our position. And we are seeking to clarify that. We encourage you all to join us in that clarification, and we will continue to do that. A couple of other breaking news. Madam Musaye Obayi, who is an accomplished aviation expert, has been appointed Director General, Sierra Leone Civil Aviation Authority. You hear this here first. Madam Musaye Obayi, she has a well-established background in company management, business development, cross-cultural awareness for conducting international business. She is a strategic thinker with first-hand experience in the Sierra Leone aviation environment, and she is now the Director General for the Sierra Leone Aviation Authority. We want to confirm other appointments that you have seen on social media. Mr. Joseph Kaifala is our chairman for the Monuments and Relics Commission. Honorable Alusain Kane is our new Chief Immigration Officer. Honorable Abubakar Kaye is Sierra Leone's ambassador to China. Well, he's been nominated because he needs to go through Parliament, designated. His Excellency Awol Safar is being nominated as our ambassador to Ethiopia. Mr. Mohammed James has just been appointed Director of Technology in the Presidential Delivery Units. Mr. Francis Momoa is being appointed Special Envoy for Trade, Investment and International Relations. I encourage you to follow STATCOM for many of these breaking news as we continue to see more and more of them breaking news here at the camp. And we get a few other just notification I will just provide very briefly. Una know say Ministry of Finance, then just do the validation workshop for review the state-owned enterprise bill. So that process they continue. The Ministry of Public Administration and Political Affairs, they expect to host a national public sector reform dialogue conference in Salone. And the theme of the proposed conference will take place in October and towards a strategic and efficient state. So now look forward for more news on that as well. Well, I have good news on the Honorable Minister who is next to me, but since today I could definitely share your news with start on some of the work that we don't do, we don't visit or place them. It didn't have a brief word yet for provide updates on, because I will give a chance for them to do that for himself. Some of us see the Honorable Chief Minister being partner, Dr. David Senge, being partner with the Minister for Works, Dr. Dennis Sandy, and the Claire U building. And some of them have been witness that, clean the place clearly, and the lay the foundation for a complete transformation of the U building. The Honorable Chief Justice Desmond Babatunde Edwards, now assigned 23 judgment for presiding over a total case of over 800 cases across the country. This is now for continue for push justice in the country. And then finally, Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, SLBC. The Ministry of Finance don't approve a salary increase of 50% for staff at the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. It's now another hot breaking news. We get the privilege today we just do a town hall with SLBC, and we announce that to the staff, because we also know this is a news item, and a part of His Excellency's commitment for continuing to improve the welfare of the information sector, and his concern SLBC they fund and sent out that. Mr. Deputy Minister, I don't miss any major news. Okay. Alright, so as usual, on all of their news they did, we'll open for question and answer, and I can feel free for us. And we take question. For now, we commitment now for do that first party in 15 minutes, so we keep that commitment deep. I get the privilege for first handover to the Minister of Internal Affairs, and a very distinguished professional, and for can share some update from the Ministry, general security updates, and response, particularly the updates on this drug enforcement and drug push crisis. So, from the house, I present so now, Major General Retired David C.O. Tampa.
Thank you very much, the Honourable Minister, colleagues, ministers, everybody present, and good afternoon. Well, they don't introduce me already. Being at the Minister of Internal Affairs, and we know when we talk about internal affairs, that the ministry where they make the country safe, and the ministry where they make the borders secure, and the ministry where they make sure say everybody go to bed and nobody no go around for the country complete for damage and what for do and the wicked thing. So now a very broad ministry. We get the police, we get the prisons, we get fire force, we get National Law Enforcement Agency, we get the NCRA, we get even the senior medical examiner, where somebody gets some suspicious killing. Now they take or will check you for say waiting actually they do with you to examine the body. So we get a whole lot of issues, and most of them when I know when we talk about internal security, a lot of things they unbug internal security. Some of which say with the unbug internal security we don't know. Like most of the media crimes they work in the community, they offend other person, you make that person they go to bed, don't give them torture. All animals will call us this bully somebody now the cyberspace. All that's not good. Then cross-border activities, cross-border crimes. We get the transnational crime unit, we took under we for check that. Then we get the responsibility for say bad person not enter Sierra Leone. I mean we get the immigration for check see anybody who enter Sierra Leone not a bad person, then for check the background before they get a visa for camp. Then you as a Sierra Leonean will check you for citizen you get your passport. We go guarantee say you are Sierra Leonean for go any other country. But before you get a passport, if you don't get your national identity card, then we will give you the passport. Then apart from that, we know other crimes against the above this country like lawlessness. One of the major issues and the way Sierra Leoneans are look confused, what they happen. And when you look at lawlessness and drug abuse, these now related issues. You know, sometimes not all lawlessness now drug abuse actually, but most times lawlessness can come out of drug abuse because you get different type of you get criminally motivated lawlessness, You get what we call politically motivated lawlessness and politics in party not being able to make official produce all that lawlessness. Then you get other lawlessness back again when as a result of poor parenting, maybe you papa mama no make you fine, you can become lawless and become problem in a society. So you get different things in way responsible for lawlessness. Now all of these things will be put together at the Ministry of Internal Affairs for see that Sierra Leoneans are nobody know company. Some people in the way they looking much kind of abandon and beat, especially them big drugs. They put night they say they get work done. Then another poor man will come out, maybe another AC in glass that they just go where Madame Muscade they die. All this now other form of lawlessness. If for driver, if you must have work done, if for 10 way half of all that Muscade and speed, so they no go. So I know that Sierra Leone not go die as a result of your carelessness or your own thing. So these are a whole lot of things where the Ministry of Internal Affairs they look at and we try to find solution with una cooperation. Because the issue of security, not to a one-man show, the issue of security now a collective responsibility of all citizens. Sometimes you will see crime they happen some side, then you begin talking not to the business. Okay, not to the business, but then who can wait to be your business? So security business now all man business. And we all forget it for report any of them which them for security will issue. When it comes to drug abuse, we all know the danger when this thing if it continue waiting to cause for Sierra Leone. If this drug business continues, Sierra Leone will get teacher. Sierra Leone will because you see most of this we young boys we they for take over. Whatever we did, today we can be minister, tomorrow we don't resign. People that they don't be minister before we. Now we don't talk for the minister. We expect the other people they don't talk to come. But if they want they don't serious, they take long, not they go school, they don't do then what is the future of Salone will be what we don't tell we don't know. So now all the things that this way president is very, very serious about the future of this country. That we forget it through the way we for hand over to. Because we get for old and fade out.
Before I move on, I want for us specifically if you can provide updates on the steps that you as Internal Affairs Minister only take to respond to the Kush crisis. Where I say, for example, you present paper to cabinet last time, we cabinet approved last week. So just provide quick updates on that so people will understand the steps that we take from a security perspective on this crisis.
Thank you very much, Minister. You see, last week we present a paper to cabinet on the strategies where we go through so this push business go down and Sierra Leone. One of the strategies now for that we able to build the capacity of the people that will send to go fight push. Because blood is a whole lot of war on interception. Nothing when you get for the determined. Just like way one better, you get for the determined for better yourself for better. So when you see the other Sierra Leone and the destroy itself, you get for the determined for fights. Let us Sierra Leone and they know that because we all for join hands together for CCA Sierra Leone. So we get for develop the capacity of the one that we get for do the fight. Not to one great ministry to do the fight. We get the Ministry of Internal Affairs, where we get the police and the NDLA. We get the Ministry of Social Welfare, you get the Ministry of Health, you get the Ministry of Labor, you get the Ministry of even Education. Because at the end of the day, if we able manage for rehabilitate you, we want that you go learn a trade. That really way you go learn it will make you very useful in society. And you say will contribute because the president in goal, now human capital development, will not let nobody behind. That man will take push today. Tomorrow, if we use them, they learn something. Maybe he will learn electrician working, can help you, he will do something for you. So the strategy now for how we develop, they want the way they fight the war. Then the second objective, now for them we able to cut off the chain Because if we don't cut off that chain, they will not be able to win the war. The supply chain. That supply chain is very, very key for them we cut off. And the car say not to one man responsibility. You send them in a neighborhood, you see them where they can buy this thing. You get right for report to the police. You said will contribute for them we cut off that chain link. Okay? Then after we don't cut off that chain link, the next one now, how will we able to integrate this man into society? How will we make this man learn work when our third objective? How will we make this man useful? Because President na indeed go down there and we want to achieve the human capital development. We will not collect nobody because it is take push. We get to make sure that money we convert them to somebody who will be very useful in our society. Then the third one, the last one, we get to know how we monitor again. Because Cameroon they don't carry on go. Now this one don't carry on go. Now push don't carry. We get to monitor for say no more what our not have again way to restore the people that are in this country. So now the strategy that we present at Parliament.
All right, so thank you very much, General. I just want for you to General say in terms of the strategy. So putting our also just get them very clearly. The General presents the Minister, the Honourable Minister, take to Cabinet a comprehensive plan. The plan includes building the capacity of the government for response to the crisis. All decided will be for building capacity across the infrastructure of government. Okay? The plan includes for stop the supply, the sideway and supply. We understand say different kind of push or some of them in a supply chain. Make sure say the plan. The plan includes for reintegrate and support the one that are victims and survivors of this use right now. Because there's a bill in charge to win and care for the people of this country. And make sure that we proactively say let no other drug epidemic not again. So like comprehensive plan we Minister will present, Cabinet no approval, President no give instruction for they immediately working with the Drug Protection Agency and then they get some resources for start that. In addition to that, President set up an interministerial council for look into this. We most of the ministry they were there, so an additional ministry where the minister mentioned, say no, we look into this and ask the chief minister for leader process. Last week, chief minister organized consultation, which includes some members of the media and civil society, for them to engage on this issue for understand. Now that meeting today we learn say Ministry of Health they conduct a comprehensive review and do a quick study to understand the extent of this. The comprehensive presidency you want for a declaration of the evidence base and when you declare they mean something. So we they now put together a more robust plan, say declaration come or whatever for support this thing. So the government will take this issue very seriously. I come to you, Honorable Melrose Kamenti, you are the Minister for Social Welfare. First, you get 10 minutes, so I want to spend the first half of it for just giving you updates from the ministry. You don't take over a new ministry, which you see the social welfare very important. With a big reflection and any big news we want to share, I inform this. And then you talk now in the last 3 minutes on which your response to the Kush crisis.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister and colleagues here and with Fourth Estate. Good afternoon. I think we all know say social welfare ministry now a ministry where they cut across all sectors because we are generally talking about the welfare of the people, but mostly the vulnerable, and we all know say the most vulnerable in our society now people living with disability. We also get the migrants. We also get anti-trafficking. people that will traffic out of this country. But we also get domestic trafficking. We get all the categories. We get the family welfare. We sell the vulnerable picking away on maintenance issues where the daddy they want to care for or the mama there, all of that ministry they do. So we generally look at welfare of the people. So just coming into the ministry, there are some reforms where they work on now with the staff there. Most of our work is administrative, for map out the proper way for now to deliver the services to the people. Because now also a service delivery ministry. Now a ministry where also donor driven, where we not bring money inside, but we need money. We need money because we get for take care of the welfare of the less privileged. So I also coming into the ministry, I see some reforms that most of them get administrative actually. But also I try for make visits to different places that when it constitute the day. For example, I begin for go approve school, or go see them, begin them, the juveniles, them, where they give us sentence, which is baby. I also go to remand home, the children in conflict with law, and I also go see the people living with disability across the streets of Freetown. Because one of the main aims of His Excellency the President now inclusion. So everybody in, no one out. So it doesn't matter your status in society, you get a way we can contribute to society. So we will look at how we can include everybody. So I also go to the home of the aged, like in judges, because these are all the constituents of the ministry, when they are the most vulnerable people. We have also therefore look at the care issue. And as I've been saying, our ministry will cut across because we link up with other ministries. For example, I see the need for Ministry of Health for coming, for support the most vulnerable. I see the need for the Ministry of Education for coming. So now we are the hub where they try to create, then link the thing. So for example, in St. George's, I see say they would need a medical, so I have to link up with the Ministry of Health for the send nurses and they will look after the agent. And even for employment with the Ministry of Labor, some of them will people that are not disabled people, some of them they say disability is not inability, they can do it. So we will try for in the coming days and weeks as we work on the 5-year strategic plan. We'll be having a national consultative meeting where we will all the partners, including even the beneficiaries, from there we can map a way out as to how we can really address vulnerability in this country. But also the other striking thing we'll find out at the ministry, now that we get this legal issue, the SLA, when a service level agreement, and also when I know that the ministry also really deal with faith-based organizations. In fact, now they will get a big image, we are all know that. So register, faith-based organization can register, then NGO that can also register who are working with the ministry. So I find out, say, the processes are really flawed, and I believe, say, Matilda, they will get immediate reform on, because most of them, they misuse the facility. Some people, they can't register just for get it free. They don't even have a church, neither do they have a box. Some of them, the NGO, not in a portfolio, just for go get duty-free facilities. So I think it's hard time that stops. So what we don't do, I don't sustain that for now. The ministry and we don't immediately set up a committee, and we talk to sister ministry, then the Ministry of Development and Economic Planning, for them themselves coming, they get part of that committee for review that process thing. Because, for example, the faith-based organization, now 500,000 to pay for register. I think that is also good for move away from that, because we also want to put the deterrent so that people do not go just grab, they can't say, well, they are ready to fill out the register. Then there's no proper monitoring, all of that. We want to put that in place. So I tell the public, say, we apologize for now, but we will work very hard so that we will get the processes and procedures running, where at the end of the day, everybody will be proud of the way it will go so that people don't misuse the facility.
You get timeline for it?
Yes, we get timeline, we're looking at 3 weeks. Most, yeah. So after that, we come back to the public and make them know. We even don't get the website up and running, and some of them will put out the website so that people can go there. You know already the process and the procedure way for doing the documentation, which you need for them you can register. Because after that, the committee they meet back for them and check everything before you actually register. So it's not going to be business as usual. I just want people to be patient with me because if Salone better, then we all better. And as some of the things that this will never put in place. So I want to talk on the issue of push. So Ministry of Social Welfare, like other ministries, sister ministries, is very key to addressing this issue. And we believe in a multi-dimensional approach. Every ministry, department, and agency, they have a role to play. Even you as an individual, as for giving, because it's for giving, you get a role to play. Because if we use the whole stream, like how the minister said earlier, this country is good and we don't want to stand it. Because that involves the people that become, they pass on, we become so we need people then for take after we. So what in the Ministry of Social Welfare don't do, because we now that area of rehab, and it's so unfortunate that this country not have a rehab center, especially on government side. So why is this issue is going, we see on the social media, even community justice and all of that, it didn't please some of us, we not be happy about that. So during the visit to approve school, and still partner around looking for a suitable place where sometimes we will get as an outlet for the counseling activities, because the psychosocial aspect is as important as the aspect of the one way the minister will talk about on the police side. So in fact, the cabinet, His Excellency the President, no even criminalizer. One will take her as an issue when we all affect Ebola and how affect Corona in this country. That kind of way. So we're not criminalizing it. So for we want to begin almost immediately to send with psychosocial counselors, the social workers, into the various places who we are now for begin the counseling. And also for begin to do an assessment of the one then where we can quickly rehabilitate and get them back into the communities. And we also know that community engagement and sensitization is very key, because some of them are communities that we don't get, and some of them they don't get stigma, how to go back. So we've got a lot of work for do, and not only the social workers will train for that and the death of that. And we want to thank the government, because recently we don't employ over 140 social workers. So now we get like the infrastructure for them to begin right away for begin the counseling. That is very important. We also want to engage with the law enforcement agency for profile. Some of them people here, they don't even know who side they come out, But to be able to try for family tracing, for try for meet the families and try to see how we will reunite them and families of the ones they hold on there. Also the interreligious council, the faith people, the Muslims, the Christians, pastors and imams, we want to bring them on board, and this ministry will coordinate them. We want to bring them on board for them to see how they will participate, for this rehabilitation business. So our work is cut out for us, and we get something that we will put for us. And say earlier, the previous speaker, we will engage with all. We don't already begin the in fact, tomorrow, me and the Minister of Internal Affairs and the Ministry of Works will go visit this site for this rehabilitation. So moving forward, the public will be looking of some of the activities we will do.
Wow. Thank you very much, Madam Minister. So for Family House, you ministered in the duty work. We less than a month in, we must have put up the sworn in, but you also already the plenty steps that we take for consult, for engage, for review, to make the process better, so to serve you, the people. The minister don't see the press release already. say all the legislation process for NGOs, religious organizations, it's been abused in the past. So you put a stop, they review, and they sanitize that process there, and it will be very transparent way done. So we know that gets now this legislation, would I get this review, or would I not get, and all of that. On the Kush crisis, the headline we talk, we are now alone a loss. That we take a human-centric approach, not to guns blazing, not to war we will make, say, arrest people. Even the Minister of Internal Affairs said that people are with people there. And with brother and sister there. You then are also to job for arrest them, and that make regular enforcement. So look at who that need for the arrested. But the people that the government they approach, the minister said that they work already for look at the rehabilitation centers. And they don't make some concrete steps there, and I know say they're passionate about this, all the cabinet, they push this go before. Before I turn over to a colleague from civil society for your brief opening statements that we open to now, I get two quick updates we just received. One breaking news now that the Teaching Service Commission, in collaboration with the Ministry for Basic and Senior Secondary Education and the education stakeholder, they don't launch the nomination process for the third edition of the Presidential National Best Teacher Awards. You know they happen, the third one will start, so you can nominate full-time trained and qualified teachers. Teacher, the way you don't demonstrate high performance, they will not show evidence of practicing the profession very well. Go to tsc.gov.sl for more information. Finally, on the update, Salone Police don't issue a press release, don't ban them boots them. We anchor and they work them after 7 p.m. and then. Salone Police don't issue a press release. We see boots them in work them. They don't do the investigation, they don't consult. They say after 7 p.m. they don't forget it again. On more information for that, one can contact the Salone Police and they will provide further clarity. But we want for the family and who's willing to listen to this program will say yes indeed, Salone Police don't put out that press release. Now to vigilance. On the Kush crisis, I don't say you work for advocate, a legal practitioner. You interact with both the social welfare side because my engage with the victims there, and the legal side because my day as well. I make a be a very uniquely qualified person for Kamu against two ministers that I actually. So give you your perspective on what side effects they right now in society and which you are do as a society. So you've got a government platform that you get 10 minutes, you are in 5 minutes. Isaiah. So we'll move on for the questions.
Steve, I don't even need that in 5 minutes because with waiting the 2 minutes and we already done something. So I don't need 5 minutes. But with the outline of the minister and the strategy, and the reforms that we the minister of social welfare decided. The obvious we should say it's people-centered approach. But until then, system is becoming the one of the indicators of the world. And so these like primary process are based on how events become safe. We get the National Drug Control Act. That act which will by the Minister of Internal Affairs in terms of treatment assessment. That panel will get 2 lawyers and 1 medical practitioner and 2 people who get extensive knowledge from the psychology, the social problem, we get all these to work out. So that is a good start. Until we get that system to have some increase, that is a good start. So we also currently get a matter, an ongoing case where 52 people in Washington, 16 have been convicted because of 20. Now then 16 people are going to be convicted. And of course, we know that comment for drugs.
Possession or
it's a mixture, right? And the question is being so to later come to how law enforcement actually can be arrested. Where you have the law and you get to the process of implementation of the law. And of course, the person, the institution will charge you the responsibility than police, right? So usually how police go, in your experience from where I'm sitting, how police go about crime, then they look for targeted areas. I'll count examples. Look for targeted areas where you likely offend people who are disproportionately affected by the existence of laws that they arrest them, they go through the trial, and then they are in prison for so long, a lot of interpretations. So currently with 52 people, it will be different. So if my situation where you spend them all in an area which is very frequently, that is how they're all allowed. And they're all, yes, and they're all going to prison. So right now we get 16, we don't become convicted. So this is a good thing. We don't have systems in place like the prison system for we have to be so I think within the 2008 Act, we provide the Minister of it is a very good start. But generally, when it comes to
came to commend all the ministers set up a system already in the law.
yes, that is a good start in addition to this strategy. Because again, the gap within and law is get no provision of harm reduction. Waiting at harm reduction. Where people they don't use for take drugs, for example, take substance. You know they can one time say, this there so we today to for it. There is a process where you do. That is the whole point of having rehabilitation. And even when you go through that rehabilitation, there is also a possibility you go to relapse process where you come back. So if we get a system in place, if we get laws, we get a legal framework, we provide the enabling environment for people that win and continue abroad. It's also, I should say, from the human rights and civil society, honestly the victims. Because when it comes to drugs, you have so many categories. You get the one that already produce. You get the one that already practice. You get peddlers. You have users. But all of the cases that you see, they go around on social media. Now people, they're within an informal economy. So when they happen to the one where they make this drug, for me, I don't ever see on social media where they go get this particular time. People, they make the push, they arrest them. The poor victims, the way they strive for survival, and besides, they carry out the economy, they carry out the country, they carry out the world. One of the things that people is so good. Now, for come to acceptance of all the issues that are so with you, and then healthy coping mechanisms. I mean, they tell me, for example, a few weeks ago, all my websites, where they close to, they go through some form of crisis. But the difference between the category of people that we interact with and the one that we interact with, and the fact that we come up from a position of privilege, we're able to sit down and think about waiting at the store with the whole currency in place, and waiting at the healthy mechanisms the whole thing to help them go through their problems. For example, you have alcohol, right? And the next aspect of alcohol is the simple fact, it is a substance of abuse. It is regulated, but you're allowed. The fact that the government press brief in the talk of alcohol, it is allowed. I can slice and decide, say, you know what, because it's been a habit, it will find for the killer of things, wind down. I can drive to the supermarket, go to the section with the alcohol. Waiting, I get the opportunity to watch the content of that alcohol. Since it's made for a particular percentage. And also there's an outline of if you get the you know for the alcohol. If you get this underlying condition, you know for the I can decide among the many options there are waiting only they allow me for this. Now to make informed decision. And when it comes to the push crisis, now one of the things where there's a huge gap, you wonder where the users, where unfortunately cannot be part of this conversation, where they're able to live experience. The one that where the user not able to make this conversation. And so because we all depend on the mechanism, we depend escape, it's very quick for making the results to support them. A very quick solution. And unfortunately, if they thankfully now the states they put steps in place for ensure that they will address this. But a lot of the time, you find out when you want to report acts, society will organize itself. So now what do we get? We get youth in our community, we don't decide that they beat the one doing a user. And it's a violation of their human rights. You get people there, I see a video of Uma where they beat. I'm like, how are people, and now with social media, it's very easy to make content viral. How will they sit down, or I'm saying return it back to the state because of the state responsibility. How the state is going to see the things that they are doing. Again, thankfully, the state is doing something like that. But still, they get the system, they all evidence from 2008, where say a treatment assessment panel for the sector. So it means that people the way they convict of drug use, not for one of you. System need for them to place for action, then they go through rehabilitation, and then they help them to come back to society. And I also point out that drug in itself, gets immune stigma associated to it. Now go to the criminal justice system. You get forms the way they ask you, say, have you ever been convicted of that? How can you go to prison for something you own one push or one wheel? How can you go to prison with prison system already overwhelmed with waiting and level? There are things that are so not progress the corridors of the prison system. I will stop here.
Okay, so I don't understand how I make we in this ministry don't decide say this conversation, for let the conversation be richer. We know just how to tell them all the things government they do. Because governments belong to the people there. Me and you now are government. We work for now. The work which you let they do so, and the same work we all they do now for make the country better. The guy say government said don't take some steps there, or something and the government may not know. So important law will listen to activists them, journalists them. Let will all be part of this conversation for when the country go before. The challenge we don't introduce now for this panel for them is set up. I want to put in writing so that we will follow up with we colleagues in our cabinet. The way we minister they are putting a listening man. And because we also get this team now we president will set up with chief minister they did, we look for whose kind of reform they will need for do. In the past, people think say government go and they see or that the same country we all get. We want to let change happen. So if I will all exchange the idea here, that will make the country go before. As you know, normally they put a platform for them to ask them questions online. So you will ask the question online, you get priority, now the question first will be asked in the hall because we want to keep the question coming online. So I have to tell the 26 people that will all get the same questions then. Who platform for this week, and I plenty to take it so now. And they pick out some of the questions, and then the first round are asked, and then I come out to now we there, Leone and ask and I question them. Honorable Minister of Internal Affairs, somebody say PC Sons, the container was investigated by Leone. Salone police, unfortunately, the current head of SLPA involved, and there was silence. They were like respond. Somebody also say a container from Brazil, and the container was for PC Sons. I guess that's the same thing. Somebody alleged say police officer then are part of importers. I don't make we get the doctor last week. We make a clear saying three types of push day. That actually the news of they go say push the private government importation. It's not true. That the local manufacturing and local use of push, it don't far exceed the one they will the green card. So I think we get evidence now from the experts there on this issue. So we will waste time on that. Honorable Minister of Social Welfare, there is a question about whether, well, maybe you will take this one, but I say the Kisi psychiatric hospital statistics we don't mention, apart from that, whose other data would they look for and how the government they collect data on drug abuse. They also ask if the national plan the cabinet will approve will be shared. I think I will pause for the one and they look a quick few minutes for respond. If you did that, you all said you also want to add to the conversation, you can just take a picture of that the website video you can ask, and I assure you the question we ask through that platform like priority so that we'll keep the conversation going. Yes, sir.
The PC and Sons container we somebody they make reference to. I'm not going to report on that and the Brexit, and I know they no idea whether they import push or not. If I get that, we don't tell you. The idea for say police and then they distribute or something like that where you talk about the SLP, even that one, sometimes don't know they make some senseless accusations. But we did do some evidence-based something. You don't go just grab someone because you see the police again push card. We know no evidence in the police again. We know say police like every other state union, you see them on social media and say they don't take push, they don't take push, this one. These are all things where the police they take action, the military take action, all man they take action. But people the way they do it, they're not supposed to do it. But for saying that then they be and come, we not get no evidence. We get evidence, we can come forward. The idea for saying we go bring out this plan, well, a day of course, and we get a sub-cabinet with most of the journalists that are present in our last meeting. We all share ideas together. Once standing on concretize, we will bring and come out to the public.
Okay. The issue of data. The government take data very serious, and because data, we all know when they inform the plans and the programs. And for now, even the data is very key because any plan where government want to take now, it can be data driven. I mean, His Excellency the President even order come out with pronouncements because he want to ensure say we get the data, across the country. And for we and the Ministry of Social Welfare, data is very key to everything we do, especially as we deal with people. So whether from the family to drug and substance users to those who are being trafficked, data very key. And just coming into the ministry, I don't emphasize the people and overemphasize that because also now part of Leone team away the chief minister again for the accessory on in assembly and cabinet. So that are very key and we pay close attention to. We partner themselves, they try for support for them we make the data collection system very robust.
Thank you, Mr. Somebody asked me if the Jerusalem issue here is the threat to me on the idea of what open embassy in